Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is NickyWheeler. If you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Tate McRae. She shot to fame with her hit One Day, which came out when she was only 14 years old. From that point on, she released hit after hit until her debut album released in 2022, titled I Used to Think I Could Fly. On this record, I noted 5 songs: Hate Myself, She's All I Wanna Be, Boy X, Feel Like Shit, and I Still Say Goodnight. The song Hate Myself explores themes of self-sabotage, guilt, and a deep sense of self-hatred. The lyrics shed light on the singer's negative self-perception and their destructive behavior in relationships. Specifically in the first verse, the writer admits to saying things that they don't mean and struggling when people get too close to them. They acknowledge their imperfections and how their behavior can push others away. The pre-chorus reflects the lack of understanding and realization when their partner expresses their struggles, leading to the fear of losing them. In the second verse, Tate acknowledges their struggle with saying goodbye and pretending to be fine when they truly care. They also recognize their tendency to shut off emotionally and not let anything matter enough. The bridge conveys the singer's repeated cycle of hurting their partner, shutting them out, and trying to forget their own faults. They believe their partner would be happier with someone else because they see themselves as fundamentally flawed. Ultimately, they do accept their own responsibility for the pain caused, admitting that they are the ones who is fucked in the end. My favorite part in this song in particular was the lyrics and delivery in the bridge. She has her high notes in it, and also the repeating lines with the last one changing was just phenomenal. Listening to it for the first time a while ago was intense, and I loved it. The next song is She's All I Wanna Be. This song seemed to be written as a ballad, but it was changed to a more upbeat pop and somewhat punk song. The flair it added to the record was something else, and made for a good change of pace throughout the record. The lyrics suggest that the singer is feeling like she is not enough for her partner and is struggling with the idea that her partner might leave her for someone who is everything she's not. She's feeling like she cannot measure up to this other girl who seems to have everything that she lacks. The repetition of the phrase, she's got everything I don't have and she's all I wanna be, highlights Tate's longing to be like the other girl and to have these qualities and attributes that her partner desires. I think this song added the right amount of glam for it to make it a trendsetter. Most of the songs on here follow Tate's usual uber depressing tone, and this one makes it seem kind of more indignant, even when the words seem like they aren't. I think the chorus was my favorite part because lyrically it is impressively strong, but it was also the part where the music had that flair the most. It was loud and angry, and I loved it. Boy X was the third song I needed to talk about. We drop back into the more dejected attitude with a girl who is afraid of getting hurt. She has a tough exterior and she tries to keep everyone at a distance, thinking that she won't get hurt if she doesn't let anyone in. However, she falls for a boy named Boy X who is special and makes her feel loved and wanted. The girl writes songs for Boy X and is completely invested in this relationship. However, the boy eventually leaves her and she is heartbroken. The song is essentially a message to him, telling him not to hurt the next girl he falls in love with the way he hurt her. The chorus is a plea to Boy X to be more considerate of his future partners and to not make false promises or lead them on, and to be honest when he loses interest. The delivery of the song was overwhelmingly expressive, especially in the pre-choruses. They're 100% my favorite part, especially since the song is so story-rich and the continuous nature of it. She was slow and sped up by the end of each line, and it was just kind of amazing to listen to. You also get the feeling that the song was, in the end, about herself the whole time. I appreciate songs that have two meanings, even when unintended. It seems like it was kind of meant to be. The fourth song on this album I wanted to talk about was Feel Like Shit. The song really had no, deep meanings. It was quite straightforward and told us what she was feeling in the moment of a breakup. The song talks about how she is struggling to move on from this relationship and is still thinking about her ex. Even though she tries to distract herself by going out and kissing someone else, she cannot stop thinking about her ex and how he made her feel. The bridge alludes to the singer's struggle to let go of the relationship. She admits that if she drinks too much, she might start thinking about her ex and wonders if their relationship could have ever worked out. She also struggles to let go of the physical reminders of the relationship, like the shirt her ex wore when they first met. Obviously, I loved this bridge, but the chorus might have to take the cake on this one because I love how she elongated the word used. It made the song seem so much more real in that regard. Getting used to being alone and not having someone call you every night. The fifth and final song I wanted to talk about on this album was I Still Say Goodnight. As the closing track, this song is about going back and looking at the signs in the relationship and seeing it was about to end anyway. The first verse talks about how the person stops saying goodnight, a simple action that shows affection towards someone. This is the first sign that they are slowly letting go and things are changing. Now they don't see her in the same way, as if they've gotten old or lost their charm. The pre-chorus reflects the singer's realization that this other person was scared to be alone, and that's why they stuck to their relationship even after things started fading away. In the second verse, the singer talks about how they always tried to impress the other person, but the efforts were never appreciated. The other person had ridiculous expectations and didn't validate the singer's efforts, which was unfair. Again, noting that the song was a closer, it was low-key a lullaby. It was slow and it worked well musically. The lyrics, I think, were the strongest piece in this one because it overpowered the music, which is fine with the final song. And that would move me into the second and newest album released just last week, Think Later. It was another insanely well done record consisting of 14 songs. 5 of the songs I noted were Greedy, Messier, Think Later, Guilty Conscience, and Want That Too. The song Greedy is about self-confidence and knowing one's worth in a relationship. The lyrics explore the dynamic between two individuals who were drawn to each other, but the singer is quite cautious and aware of the other person's intentions. In the first verse, Tate acknowledges the other person's interest and their confusion about the singer's true nature. Despite their attempts to understand, they find that not much is being communicated. Then, in the third verse, the other person expresses their curiosity about her authenticity and questions whether their behavior is genuine or an act. She responds with a playful acknowledgement of their effect on the other person and hints at their unpredictable nature, indicating that they need to verify their own feelings. I thought this song was probably one of her most playful or frisky. It's telling men not to get too consumed by their interest in her, or in other words, their eponymous greed, while also playfully boasting how she would want herself too. Also, I wanted to mention, if you saw the music video for this song, you would know that it was also quite a fast track, and the dancing was amazing. Next, I want to talk about Messier. Tate sings about a relationship that she can't leave or end because they are the only one who understands her enough to know how to hurt her the worst. Based on the lyrics, I gathered that the song is about an intense and volatile relationship. The opening line suggests that lying is a common occurrence in this relationship, and both parties seem to be aware of it. The verse also implies that there is a pattern of arguments and fighting, which only intensifies that passion between them. They describe the relationship as a punch to the gut, which suggests that it's both emotionally intense and painful at times. The lines, "You're the only one who can boil my blood and make that shit cut," further enforce the idea that this relationship is fiery and intense. It is a messed up love ballad designed to be messy and was clean and cut to the point. I think this one is one of my favorites for sure, and what did it for me was the way she said messier in the chorus. It was funky, but I loved it. It gave the song so much character because if any other artist sang it, they wouldn't have delivered it like Tate did with the repeating of the ER at the end of the word messier. The third song was the title track, Think Later. McRae recalls a night out with a guy who she calls a heartbreaker. The guy she is out with makes Tate want to think about a situation later and just live in the moment. In the bridge, she says she isn't stressing or worrying about the shit show of a night. In the first album teaser, McRae mentions a night where she thought she could shut off her phone, which she later found to be a stupid idea, which relates to the line in the song where she's been drinking something blue, turn my phone off. The pre-chorus further emphasized the singer's carefree attitude by showcasing their nonchalant reaction to potential trouble caused by their own actions. The scene at a club or venue demonstrates a disregard for consequences as they remain locked inside with the person they desire. The second verse continues to portray the singer's impulsiveness and attraction to the subject by describing their physical intimacy and desire for a deeper emotional connection. The lines, "Just get me up, be that hot-ass stopper boy, don't lie, I know you want it," reveal a seductive and confident attitude, suggesting a mutual attraction and a willingness to indulge in physical desires. The bridge then reinforces the theme of living in the moment and not worrying about the future or potential consequences. It encourages a mindset of embracing the present without overthinking or stressing about trivial matters. The song was a bass-heavy track, with triviality being the last thought. With the song Guilty Conscience, I thought this one was definitely my favorite for sure. The repetition in the chorus was probably the best part, let alone the actual music and lyric quality throughout the track. The verses highlight the painful experiences Tate has gone through. They express feelings of disappointment, regret, and mistrust towards their partner. The line, "Lot of dumb words, but you regret now," indicates that the partner's hurtful actions have caused regret and turmoil. The singer also mentions hiding pictures their partner receives, which hints at a lack of trust and potential infidelity. The second verse provides further insight into the toxicity of the relationship. She then mentions a hotel room and cryptic behavior, suggesting secrecy and deception. The line, "Had a good life, it got hijacked," illustrates how the relationship has taken a toll on their happiness and stability. In the outro, the repetition of "with a guilty conscience" reinforces the idea that the singer is grappling with the consequences of their actions and the moral weight they bear. The resolution to live with a guilty conscience implies a resignation to their circumstances, indicating that they have accepted that they may never fully escape the cycle of guilt and turmoil. Overall, the message behind the song revolves around Tate being reckless around a guy and then messing around while she mindlessly follows him and dedicates herself towards him, going by his side and wanting him by her side in order for him to love her. I actually thought this song played off the music, and despite the sad words, it was kind of playful and toyed with the vices and virtues of life. Throughout the relationship, things changed and it felt controlled by crime, but you found thrill in that, leaving you conflicted between living with yourself or leaving that world. The music also played around some R&B inspirations, and I loved it. The last song I wanted to talk about was Want That Too. It explores the theme of toxic relationships and the aftermath of being deceived and manipulated by someone. In the verses, Tate reflects on being blindsided by the person they were involved with, emphasizing their youth and vulnerability. In the second verse, the singer expresses a sense of empowerment, declaring that they have no time for the other person's games. They refuse to wait for their call, but anticipate that the person will try and manipulate the situation with limited options they have left. The bridge conveys a sense of rebellion and refusal to be like this manipulative person. Tate rejects the idea of their innocence being mistaken for weakness and emphasizes that the other person's desire for material possessions and control are not what they value or want for themselves. They have grown wiser and won't take that sort of abuse anymore. It was a heartfelt, slow-tempo track and played well into the next song, which ended the album. Overall, I think this album was a wonderful entry, and I think overall played better for those who enjoy both sexy and sad music. My favorite part of listening to this was the unpredictability of what the next song could be about, though I did know it was a heartfelt and possibly heartbreaking song. Now, I wanted to move into the rankings of the album talked about in this video. This will be on a best to worst scale and take lyrics, music composition, and vocal capabilities into account. At number 1, I have Think Later, and number 2 is I Used to Think I Could Fly. Think Later, as an album, was well put together and was promoted so well. I think I enjoyed every song besides one on this album, and even that one was pretty good. Compared to her debut, I think it shows itself as a standout album because all of the songs don't run together and aren't all sad. On her debut record, there are some songs that I just didn't like, which is okay. Tate has displayed so much growth musically and personally because she has become more and more confident. I am looking forward to new music from her, and hopefully she plays more into her sexuality and grows more confident over time because I did enjoy seeing it. I think that is where I'll be ending this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below for who I should cover next, and until next time, bye guys.